I am building a relationship, and if it turns into a sale because it's supposed to, perfect. If it turns into a sale for later, perfect. If it never does, then the universe is protecting me from something.
Welcome to Did I Stutter with Jill Perick. And yeah, I probably did because I have a stuttering disability. But I'm also a multiple six-figure business and mindset coach who's here to help you shut down the mindfuckery of imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and playing the nice girl in your content so you and your brand can blow the fuck up and so you can stack the motherfucking cash. I'm holding absolutely nothing back. We're talking marketing, messaging, mindset, subconscious healing, nervous system regulation, and how to do it all even with raging anxiety, ADHD, and just being a fucking human. If fuck is one of your favorite words and nothing can get in between you, your iced coffee, or the work that you're here to do, I'm your girl. Let's dive in.
There is this funny thing that happens when you actually start to have sales conversations, when people are inquiring about your offers. And I know this because I have fucking lived it. I know this because I have clients who have lived it, is when people start inquiring and they start asking questions and they start actually being like led from your content to the DMs or to a sales call. You kind of question it. And like you kind of wonder, like, is this real? Is this legit? Even after having tons of clients drop in and then pay me, there have been times where I've been like, like, is this legit? Is this going to turn into a sale? Especially like big sales, right? Especially like four-figure sales, five-figure sales. And there is this piece around having sales conversations that I really want to talk about today because I had a great post that went out last month. And I actually did an Instagram live about it too, around my conversation with a new client who joined the Real Deal Mastermind for 12 months. And she actually said no before joining. So she said no, and then like 2 days later, she ended up saying yes, and she signed on for a year, and that was a five-figure sale. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about like how she went from no to signing on for a year. But I just want to speak to this fear around like, okay, am I going to be able to help this person? Is this like legit? Is this real? I've had a client say before that she got all of this interest for her one-to-one coaching program, and she actually didn't open the DMs or read them for days because she was like, I don't know why the fuck I did that. And I said, I know exactly why. And it's because we always have this fear of like, I'm going to fuck this up. I'm going to fuck this up. I'm going to say something wrong. And if you are a classic overthinker, if you have some anxiety, and if you just like care about your fucking business and you care about making money and signing clients and like helping people, there's always going to be this kind of like anxiety around a sales conversation, especially when it's in the DMs. Because if it's in the DMs, you can't read somebody's expression. You don't know if they interpreted what you said a certain way. And when you're actually having a conversation with them, you actually can't tell, like, okay, if they respond to you and then like you respond back to them and then they take like a day, you don't know. You can just see that they've seen the message and you have no idea what's going to happen. It kind of feels like you're in this like in between limbo. And this is why it is so fucking important to do the work on your belief and to genuinely have so much belief in yourself and in the quality of your offers and in the quality of your work. Because, oh, and also in your capabilities to have a sales conversation that will lead to a conversion. If it does not happen right away, this doesn't fucking mean anything. If this doesn't happen right away, that is okay. There is always an opportunity for a conversion to happen, whether it's now, whether it's next week, whether it's in 6 months. And it takes a very resilient and strong person to like identify that and not spiral into like making it mean anything. Okay. As you can see, as the pattern in a lot of my podcast episodes and in the work that I do, like this does come from identity and from like believing like, okay, I'm here for the long run. I'm not going anywhere. And like I can hold my fucking power even if somebody does not say yes right away. This does not mean that my offer is shit. This does not mean anything about me as a coach, as a person. And holding that line, holding that power is what is going to lead someone to buy from you. And I have no shame in saying that, like, there are people that have watched me for years that have finally decided to pull the trigger, right? And, like, truthfully, I'm saying hire me now instead of hiring me in 2 years, right? But it's okay if it does take 2 years. Like, I'm not fucking going anywhere. And I think that the online space as well, like there's a lot of a lack of trust in the online space because we've seen people that have been charging 10, 20, $30,000 for like a group program or like a mastermind or one-to-one coaching, and then they dip out of the industry like a year later. And you're like, where the fuck did they go? So I am totally okay with it taking time. And in a sales conversation, I know like I'm not just trying to get the sale for that day or that week or what the fuck ever. Like I am building a relationship, and if it turns into a sale because it's supposed to, perfect. If it turns into a sale for later, perfect. If it never does, then the universe is protecting me from something. It's protecting me from this person, it's protecting me from this contract, whatever it is. I really do have the belief that like the clients that I am supposed to work with are the clients I'm supposed to work with. So when it comes to having these kinds of sales conversations, um it's okay that you feel like, you know what, all I want is for people to drop in and ask me about my coaching and to have that consistently, and then when it happens you're almost like avoiding it. It's because of this fear of like, I'm gonna fuck up this conversation, I'm gonna fuck this up, and I'm not gonna be able to say the right thing. And you really have to detach yourself from that in that like complete trust that when somebody is supposed to work with me, I could never fuck it up. Now, there's obviously conversational skills, sales skills that I teach in my one-to-one coaching, that I teach my mastermind clients in the real deal. So that is a whole separate thing. But in this particular conversation with my new client, we were going kind of back and forth. She was asking some questions about it, blah, blah, blah. And then she said no. Now, because of the rapport that her and I have, and because of the questions she was asking, and because I knew her and I knew her story, and we had worked together in a small capacity before, I felt comfortable and I intuitively felt like, okay, I'm going to ask why. I am just going to be curious and just ask, like, hey, like, you seemed really interested and like you were going to move. And then all of a sudden you said, not right now. Is it okay if I ask you about that? And I was like, I didn't say it exactly like that, but I was just honest and curious. And this also has to come from a very like kind place, a very powerful place of like, I know that I am detached. Like, I don't care if she signs or not. This is for her. And however, I have the belief in my offers. I have the belief in my coaching. I have the belief that like she would be better off because she's working with me. And I'm not afraid to fucking say that. Of course, I'm not gonna say that to her because it's her choice. But when we were having this conversation and I was just like, hey, I'm just curious. Like, I just want to open up the conversation, and she was totally receptive to it. And she ended up signing 2 days later because the hesitation she had, the fears that she had, I was able to speak to them, and I was able to like help her make an empowered decision to join the Real Deal Mastermind. And she's thriving. She's doing fucking incredible inside of there. And this is not the result of a perfect sales conversational tactic. It's not me having, "Ooh, I'm going to use this script and she's going to say, yes, I'm in." And like I've coached people before who have access to scripts and stuff like that, and they can't seem to close the deal because it's not about the fucking script. It is never about the script. It is always about your energy. It is always about your detachment from the sales process and from you, first of all, having their best interest at heart, like genuinely believing I can help this person. This person is supposed to work with me. And if they're not, they won't, right? Believing that the universe is fucking protecting you always, that something else has your back. And I also have genuine fucking belief in my offer, and having that belief in yourself as a coach, as a service provider, as somebody who can fucking help someone, that is going to change the tone of your conversation, right? And it generally is a conversation. It is not just somebody dropping in and saying, "Hey, I'm in." Like sometimes that happens. But if you're going to have somebody come into a high ticket offer, they're going to have some questions. You also want to know who is coming into your space as well, right? Like I'm never going to sign somebody into the Real Deal that I at least don't have a conversation with at first. So I know that they are a good fit for the space. And that is being in integrity with your sales. But I am not somebody that has experience with, you know, cold calling or like sales conversations outside of running my own business. Like I had to learn all of this shit from scratch. And I know how to do it, but I also use my intuition and I use my soft skills. And I'm just a fucking human that has an offer that can really, really help somebody. And I have the belief in my work and the belief in myself as a coach that I can help them get the results that they want. If they are all in and I am all in, I know that the clients that I work with will get incredible fucking results. And that is the belief that you need to lead with too. And if you have, you know, people inquiring and you start to feel this panic, just remember, like, this is the fear of fucking it up. And you could never fuck it up when it is the right person. If you know how to have a fucking human to human conversation with somebody, if you feel confident in yourself and your offer, when you can listen to your intuition and when you have those soft skills, you can easily lead someone to a conversion in an empowered way. It doesn't have to be sleazy or pushy or sales tacticy, and you don't even need a fucking script. Okay. And this is the kind of thing that we talk about at length inside of the Real Deal Mastermind, where you're going to learn how to have these empowered sales fucking conversations that lead to a conversion every single time, because you are actually attracting people who are a good fit from your content, from your stories. That is how you're showing up. And you're also showing up in the energy of, I have belief in my work. I have belief in myself, and I can change your fucking life. And that will in turn attract the right people. They're going to drop into your DMs and onto your freaking sales calls. And you are going to be able to lead them to a conversion. It's going to be so much easier because you're actually attracting the right people who are ready now. And we do this through your marketing, we do this through your messaging, and we do this with the energy of belief, with the energy of the utmost confidence in yourself and in your fucking work. That is what you are going to become. That is what you're going to build inside of the Real Deal Mastermind, which is my signature container. So I did the link in my show notes. And I also have a free training down there called Signature Savage in the show notes where you can get for free and you can learn how I created this signature offer, and I've made now over 6 figures from the signature offer, how you can create a financial foundation for yourself and for your business through high ticket offers. It doesn't have to be fucking complicated. It gets to be so easy. And come and work with me inside of the Real Deal Mastermind or one-to-one coaching. I have one-to-one coaching spot available. And I love you. I hope you love the new podcast branding. I'm obsessed with it. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.